Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we're here to review the comics that came out on July the 24th of 2019. A banner day in comics. Quite a few big releases, I'd say. A very solid week.
Very solid week.
Why don't you take us out?
All right. Gonna start today with issue number 7 of Martian Manhunter by... that's going to be Steve Orlando.
Yep.
And
Riley
Resmo.
Rossmo. Yeah.
Yes.
Good artist. I like his stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And this, I feel like, at one point it kind of feels like a break from what's been going on, since everything that's been going on has been so, crazy. And this is a little bit more straightforward, doing the buddy cop thing again.
Very surprising, and honestly, at first, I wasn't sure that it wasn't a flashback.
Same.
Yeah, until he actually, they started talking about how she knew that he was the Martian Manhunter and was asking him to use his Martian Manhunter abilities.
Right. Use your powers.
Yeah, until
use
then,
powers.
I was definitely unclear at first on that.
Me as well. But then once I found out that, totally, and she's like, use your powers, this is straight up continuity from last time.
Right.
I was very happy with this issue. The whole, it was action-packed is the thing.
Yes, there was a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
And it was almost out of left field because it's not the action you're expecting to get at this point in the series the way it's been going.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be going even farther in that direction if next issue is going to be a flashback about her and the original John Jones.
Right.
And John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, ain't even going to be in most of it, is going to be my prediction.
I can see that being the case.
So yeah, it's interesting how this series has juked a little bit. And it's interesting, but it also kind of feels like now we're getting to the part where stuff is being added to get it to 12 issues.
Right. Definitely, it feels that way. But I like this issue.
No, it was good. And I did like when they were getting drunk and the speech bubbles had little circles in them.
That was nice.
That was another almost confusion point for me.
Right, because you're not sure if they're thinking.
Right, it was telepathy, and she's just letting him have a telepathic conversation with him. But no, it's just... it's the drunk slur.
It's the drunk slur.
Yeah. No, it was pretty decent. I enjoyed it.
I definitely liked it a lot. I give it a 7.
It's a 6 for me.
Alright.
Good. Alright, moving on to issue 1008 of Detective Comics by Peter Tomasi and Doug Mahnke. Glad to see Mahnke back.
Agreed.
His artist choice.
Definitely.
One of the big early things that Mahnke did when he kind of blew up a little bit was a Joker story. I believe it was called The Man Who Laughs, and it was like a retelling of Joker's origin.
Nice.
And
there's a lot of those.
So it was really nice to see so much good Joker in this.
Right.
And he just draws such an insane-looking Joker. It's wonderful. It's the red around the... I know that's the colorist, not him doing the red around the eyes specifically, but the rictus grin is so rictus.
Right. He's popping all over the place.
And so it's almost harkens back to Killing Joke a little bit, just because all the action is happening at a fair. And Joker's doing fun things with fair games, including, totally out of left field... Joker name drops Flex Mentolo in this issue.
Yes, he does.
Which I was never expecting to have happen. And
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that was quite wonderful. But is there a better moment in this issue than when Batman has to take a moment to reassure the little boy that everything's going to be okay? And then Joker shows up and he's like, here, have a snack, boy. And then slaps it out of his hand.
Well,
he's full.
But I kind of wish... he said he'll spoil his dinner instead of he's full.
Oh, interesting. I can see that.
But yes, that was a great moment.
I feel like when Batman is doing stuff like where he's interacting with the Joker, he might be going out of his way to not be saying anything clever or using turn of phrases.
It's totally true.
He's like, I am not going to make this any more fun for this clown than he's
already
having.
Right, I'm going to do what you're forcing me to do, which is play along enough to follow you around, which gives you just a great comic in general.
Yeah.
And just stall his whole way through it. And that's exactly what you want in a Batman and Joker comic, is the Batman and the Joker interacting through the entire comic.
Right. And I really enjoyed how much Tomasi, like, threaded this through all of the other Batman continuity happening right now, because he mentions the Justice League stuff by talking about Lex Luthor's Legion of Doom and all the multiverse things, and now Joker's tired of that shit, and he's just going to get back to doing some down-home old Gotham crimes.
Right.
And then also later, when Joker talks about, like, ooh, I know that we're having a good time here, but I know what's about to happen to you with all this Bane stuff that's about to go down, that's going down in the other book. Like, it's just so excellent when Joker doesn't quite break the fourth wall, but he's, like, right in there, like, he knows that this is all a game.
Right. He knows everything that's happening. He sees the world for what it is.
Right. The not, like, super overdone goth version of it that the Batman Who Laughs does, but, like, just the more benign, not benign, but, you know, the standard Jokerized version of that.
Where it makes him a genius.
Right,
all
a particular...
all the patterns he can see. You know, it's great Joker.
It's good Joker.
And yeah, the fact that he mentions all that is just like, here, I'm pulling away from all that to give you this one-off, which, you know, there's nothing better.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely excellent. The Joker is playing it off as if, like, he knows he's not going to win this. He's not even trying to win this.
No.
Like, he's just here to be Joker for one issue.
Right.
And it's wonderful. I give this an 8.
I would also give it an 8.
Yeah.
Nice.
Excellent. Speaking of Batman, we have the newest series of the sequel to Batman White Knight. Yep. Curse of the White Knight.
Curse of the White Knight. Exactly. And that's by Sean Murphy. And
written and drawn.
Matt. Really?
Yeah, Matt Hollingsworth on colors.
And Matt Hollingsworth on colors. Nice job, Sean Murphy.
Yeah, Sean has said recently that he's never going to draw anything he didn't write again. So he definitely enjoys it, and it's good for us, too, because he is not a bad writer at all. Sometimes when the artists make the jump and they're like, I'm going to try writing my own stories, it doesn't quite work out. But this guy's got a very literary bent, almost. Like, while also being such a clear fan of all of the various media that Batman has appeared in. Like, this isn't really Batman of the Batman comics. This is like a pastiche Batman of the animated series and the movies, the live-action movies are seated in. Like, there's all these things that form the suit of Sean Murphy Batman.
Yeah, and the fact that Batman is mostly painted for us by the Joker, you know, he gives us a lot of content on Batman, and the Batman comes in and he's just, you know, all business. That's all he is in this, is just straight up business.
Yeah, he knows that he did bad in the previous series, and this is definitely the Batman that is sort of on, like, the apology tour.
Right. Exactly, which is hilarious. And it's like the Joker, yeah, he totally sees all the Batmans and knows them all.
I do wonder
he sees that in.
if Joker is going to turn back into Jack Napier at some point during this series, because
seems like he's worried about it.
He doesn't be worried about it. He really doesn't like Napier, and I'm pretty sure Napier is the White Knight, like referred to in the title. I'm almost certain he was in the first series.
I agree completely.
And so, yeah, I mean, but although that said, the curse of the White Knight just could be all the fallout from him being Napier.
It's possible, but maybe it's, you know, he's cursing the Joker.
Now, John Paul Valley. I want to get right to John Paul Valley.
Yes, let's get to John Paul Valley.
Dude, he's yoked.
Yoked?
Yeah, ripped.
Oh, he's gigantic and naked.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like, I don't recall Valley being such a beast. It works.
It's very amusing. And then the reveal at the end.
Joker's giving him his sword back.
His flaming sword. What could be cooler than a dude with a flaming sword whose name is Azrael?
Yeah, dude. This is
that's
exciting.
Right.
You probably wouldn't have read any comics with Azrael, because Azrael was the replacement Batman in the 90s. When Bruce Wayne broke his back, John Paul Valley is the man who first took over the Batman role, and then eventually morphed into that like super armored-looking Batman that became too like violent, and eventually regular Batman had to come back and slap him down.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's Azrael. And I think
all right.
Did you play the Arkham games?
Yeah.
In, I believe, Arkham City, there was like a weird side quest where you would run into Azrael a couple of times and he'd say stuff to you, but it was all like hinting at stuff that was going to come in a future game, and I don't think it ever actually like paid off.
Oh, that's interesting.
But that is probably the one place where I imagine you would have run into this guy before.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but pretty good start.
A very military Batman in that one.
Yeah, he's got, I think it's called the System, is the process that was used on him and allows him to be a above average warrior.
Oh.
It's a weird religious thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd give this a 7.
I think that's right for this. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I expect that things are going to get a little more entertaining than they are in the setup. Although, man, first couple of pages with swashbuckling Wayne versus Laffy Arkham, the Arkham who was also a Joker vampire.
Yeah, the founders of the city, of course.
I cannot wait to see how that plays out. And it's like a very funny contrast, I thought, to Jimmy Olsen last week, which was like the hilarious hijinks of the Luthor and Olsen families in Metropolis versus this, which is like
you are so right.
The dark and evil gothic adventures of the Wayne and Arkham ancestors.
Oh, man, that's great.
All right, moving on to what I would call the biggest release of the week. It is House of X, issue 1, with Jonathan Hickman, drawn by Pepe Larraz, an artist who I don't believe I've encountered before, but is quite good. Yeah. I really enjoyed the art in this.
The art was very good.
This was such a goddamn Jonathan Hickman comic. I loved it from beginning to end. Almost no action. He squeezed some action in there.
He did, but mostly foreshadowing.
It's all like a thesis statement, like a statement of intent. It's all like, we're here, everything's different now. We're now going to explain to you how things are different, and things are different in a big way.
Yeah, that's true.
I loved the thing with the 3 drugs.
The 3 drugs.
Such a cool, like, independent of any X-Men or Marvel Comics connection or anything, just the idea of, like, this, race deciding to offer this perfect trade to a nation. Like, the 3 best drugs that you could possibly be created.
Oh, yeah.
One for health, one for mental health, one for aging.
Yeah.
And they're going to offer, the mutant kind is going to offer these drugs in exchange for being recognized as a sovereign state on the island of Krakoa in the Pacific.
Right.
Krakoa, of course, himself is a mutant, a big mutant island.
Cool.
There's charts, there's maps.
Yeah. That was interesting.
We get a little bit of what humanity's response to the mutants is going to be. It's the craziest Sentinel program of all time. They're building like a Sentinel Dyson Sphere hybrid thing that's powered by the sun with a master mold in its center, and is going to be able to build them probably the best Sentinels ever if they're harnessing the power of the sun in their creation.
Wait, are they building the head around the sun?
No. I say Dyson Sphere just because of the idea of building something close to the sun. And
right.
It's not going to be like a sphere. It seems like it's really just a ring that's near the sun.
Yeah, space station.
But it's a similar idea.
It's a cool thing.
And in the Hickman Avengers run, Tony did build a Dyson Sphere around Earth's sun. So
amazing.
Yeah, I know, right?
They did it.
Big sci-fi. We get some cool action with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, kind of, because it's Toad and Mystique and Sabretooth. And that was another big surprise in this issue when the heroes that show up to stop them are, boom, page turn. It's the Fantastic Four.
That was pretty awesome.
You weren't expecting that, but on the other hand, Hickman had to bring him in because A, he loves the fucking Fantastic Four,
Right.
Like, he's the guy who came up with the Council of Ricks, which, as you know, was reinterpreted as...
God.
The Council of Reeds.
Yes.
But Franklin Richards is, of course, a mutant. So that is 100% going to figure heavily into...
Right, that's great. I hadn't even thought of it before, but yeah, once Scott mentioned it, and Scott is super commando in this, which is great.
Scott is excellent. I'm so glad. And they did announce that in the X-Men ongoing series that's going to follow this whole thing, the one that Hickman's actually going to write after this, it's basically just the Summers family, the book. Because it's going to be Scott and Havoc and their other brother Gabriel and their dad Corsair and Jean Grey and Rachel Summers and Cable and also Wolverine.
Of course.
But I am very much...
If it's the Scott, I'm down.
I am super down for some Hickman Summers family action. Magneto is great. He's the tough diplomat. Interacting with the forces of humanity in this, and
he's doing a good job.
Suits him perfectly. Creepy, weird things are happening with Professor X. We don't actually check in with him in this issue, really. But
we see him.
Isn't it weird for Wolverine to just be laughing and happily playing with children in a meadow? Something weird is going on here. Like, this is not all as it seems. Like, this isn't the only clue, but I think this is a big clue that something else is happening here other than mutants are coming here and just really loving it.
Interesting.
Yeah, 100%. This is great. I can't... Hickman did say that, it's House of X, Powers of X. One's going to come out each week, alternating for the next 6 weeks. And each issue... Like, in Powers of X is going to be flashback stuff. This is going to be the new timeline. Power of 10 is what the other title is called. I'm not mistaken, right? It's House of X and Power of 10.
Interesting.
Power of 10 is the prequel series. And he says that every issue that comes out will recontextualize the contents of the issue that had come out the week before. So I cannot wait to see how issue 1 of Powers of 10 next week. That's a big sell.
Yeah, really.
He's really pitching it hard. If he can't pull that off...
Right, that's a hard thing to pull off.
It's disaster. But if there's one person in comics who has the, charting ability, like the ability to sit down and draw out all the things on a crazy wall and connect them with red string that you'd have to do for this, it's Jonathan Hickman. This is a 9 for me. I really loved it.
All right. Well, I probably didn't give it enough credit at the time, but I'm only giving it a 7.
That's fine. I'm 100% a Hickman stan. I'm biased.
That's fair.
I'm reading things and assuming they're going to be cool. We'll see. We'll see how if I'm placing too much trust.
I'm not giving all my trust at once. I'll see how next issue ties in. Next week's issue, Power of 10, ties into this, because that is fascinating.
I'm excited. Reading comics should be this exciting.
Yeah. I hope you're right.
Me too.
We're going to continue on with issue 18 of the Terrifics by Yang, Jean Lewin Yang, and Steven Segovia.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, no, this is excellently drawn. I like it. At first, I wasn't completely sure what was going on.
Not an uncommon complaint from us.
Right. But I feel like this issue did tie up really what was going on with the new sphere and the biosphere. Once they explained that it was just the singularity again.
Once they said that, it's so true.
It's clicked. It's the apocalypse.
I agree that this issue did the best job of this whole arc of really drawing everything into clear focus right before then moving out to deal with the situation, which, that's probably as intended.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It did a good job of that. Plastic Man.
The best part was when the little plastic men became jealous of Offspring and started trying to eat him.
Yes.
But also, a true son of Plastic Man, we must not allow this.
Right, he can't be better than us. And that's great. And I love deflated Plastic Man going around being like, nah, I'm good.
Literally
Let me
deflated.
die.
Physically and spiritually deflated.
Yeah, those were my sins. I'm so happy to be free of sin and die. And then he gets the speech from Julia. Is her name Julia?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, is that Rex's girlfriend?
No, it's not.
Oh,
Julia.
Mr. Terrific's?
Mrs. Terrific.
Mrs. Terrific, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know her real name. They say it once at the end. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah. Just I don't know Mr. Terrific's name either, so.
Michael.
But, yeah, she gives him. Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
She gives him the big old speech, Plastic Man, but then he's just like, nah, I don't get it. But then he's just like, oh, I'm gonna save my son.
Yeah, that's good motivation. I'm cool with that.
Good moment.
That fits class.
Mr. Terrific going inside of Metamorpho.
That was cool.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. That's an interesting thing.
Just his, I don't think I've ever been so close to anybody comment.
How about the revelation that Mr. Terrific hasn't farted in years?
Yeah, it's so...
It's a little silly. Like,
It is very silly.
It's interesting how a arc that is so almost like seriously religious, like there's a lot of philosophy going on here, is also quite juvenile.
Right.
And not all of the juvenility is coming from Plastic Man.
No, it's interesting to have that kind coming from Mr. Terrific, who seems a little bit, I had the word for it, a nerd.
Oh, no, yeah.
A geek.
He might be one of the nerdiest characters in comics. But, the writer Gene Lewin Yang is from, like, basically YA level graphic novels, so it's not surprising that he's not writing down or anything, but things are going to get a little silly.
Yeah, no, but overall I liked it. And Bizarro at the end,
I like
being
that.
Recruited by Luthor.
I like that they're going to fight Bizarro. I quite enjoy that.
Yeah, it'll probably be a lot of fun. I give it a 6.
I think 6 is right for this. How funny is it to have Apex Predator Lex Luthor having to reformulate his speech correctly in order to talk to Bizarro?
Oh, it's great.
That was pretty funny.
Delightful.
Yeah.
He's good at it.
All right, moving on to Star Trek: The Q Conflict by Scott Tipton and David Tipton, 2 writers. I want you to remember that point. Drawn by David Messina. This is the last issue of this arc, which might be the most fun I've ever had reading a Star Trek comic, to be honest with you. Up there with the Star Trek Green Lantern crossover, which was also similarly all fan service.
Nice.
This was, it was all fan service, but then it just turned into figuring out a way for the crews to shoot at Q with guns.
Yeah. It worked.
I did really enjoy the big image of every single character from all of the series in one picture, holding up their guns, like, yeah, we're ready to fight.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, Quark looking all tough with his shotgun slung over his shoulder, because that's who I immediately looked for in the hero shot. I was like, where Quark at in this?
I looked for O'Brien.
And also, have we mentioned that Neelix isn't in this? That's weird, right?
That is interesting. Well, I mean, there's a few left out characters. Neelix isn't the only one.
You're right, and I'm sure that people had to be cut to get to exactly the numbers they needed, and they wanted 7 of 9, and
I mean, no Doctor, as in the Doctor.
Oh, interesting. Voyager really. Does Voyager have like more characters than the other shows, or?
No, I mean, no Rom or Garrick.
Well, right, but so they shoot at Q with some guns, and Trelane is the only of the other species of omnipotent beings that chooses to assist Q. But he's also afraid of the Starfleet officers with guns. And
right. I mean, once they start really shooting at him and Q gets hit, it's kind of just like, oh crap, we gotta stop all this.
Right. Everyone panics, like they're little kids who are playing, and somebody just got cut by a branch.
Right, well, the Q Continuum comes in, the other one.
They're like, all right,
that's like, oh, you gotta stop this man.
You've been hurt. Like, we can't let people see this.
Yeah.
Really. I was very bothered by Q wearing essentially a 21st century suit in the deliberation scene.
I know.
But you know what really bothered me, brother? You know what really bothered me and rendered this book almost unreadable?
Oh, I know what really bothered you.
Tell me what bothered me.
Bashir.
Dr. Julian Bashir.
He's not in the right continuity for the outfit that he's wearing and the timeline that they're supposedly in.
Right.
Nobody should know that he is augmented.
Right, but him being augmented is the key to the entire plot. Like, because he's the only one who's able to make the shot that's with the sniper rifle.
Well, we don't know that he's the only one. He's just the one with the best chance.
That is true.
Because he's augmented.
But, and, you know, at first I was willing to forgive it a little bit because they were being cagey about the reasons. They're like, Bashir, you have to do this mission. Only you can do it. And then he's up on the ridge. And he's there with Miles, and they're taking the shot. And to me, I'm always like, okay, maybe they're not talking about him being augmented. Maybe they're just making a reference to the darts. And how Bashir is good at darts, and there's him and O'Brien to remind us of it, and he's going to be making a good shot. But then, on the 2 pages later, O'Brien and Bashir are talking about how Bashir is augmented. They don't reveal that until they're in the gray quilted top uniforms.
Right.
Which they are 100% not in this, and they made a point of explaining that in an earlier issue.
Right, the whole Worf thing. The Worf Dax thing.
The only possibility is, now I believe that everybody's mind is wiped when they're put back in their timeline, right?
Picard said that each person individually would be able to choose whether or not their mind would be wiped.
So I guess it's possible that at some point Bashir pulled somebody aside and was like, hey, like, I wouldn't tell you this normally, but since we're in an important situation. Oh, that would be hilarious if Worf straight up told someone and he was like, Bashir should take the shot. And I'm like, watching Bashir take the shot. And Worf was like, he should take the shot. It's like, well, Worf, we normally don't listen to you, so we're not going to do that. It's like, okay, I'll tell you why he has to take the shot. But
oh, man. If that panel was in there,
it'd be amazing.
That would just
It would make this a 9.
It would make this a 9.
As it is, it's a 6. Yeah. It would be a 7, but I have to dock it because 2 writers missed a big continuity thing. And you know who loves continuity?
Star Trek fans.
That's us.
Yes, that's Star Trek fans.
Yes. We are. We're the fans.
Yes, we are. No, I agree. 6. We're going to finish up tonight with issue 7 of Guardians of the Galaxy. Donny Cates, Corey Smith, David Curiel.
Donnie.
This was an interesting issue because there's a new maybe villain, maybe not coming in.
Oh, villain for sure.
I mean, yeah. It's
Universal Church of Truth, but the more evil version of whatever that is.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah, but just the explanation at the end. It's like, I'm showing you what's to come, and that's why you got to help us.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, it's definitely nefarious. Nobody's going to be fooled.
Yeah. Not too dissimilar, weirdly, from the Terrifics, almost in a way. Kind of coming at this, like, forcing despair into people, and,
That's true, with the big old tentacle things that come out of their great holy symbol, because they're from the future.
Right.
Oh my god, they got future weapons. They immediately wipe out all of Nova Corps.
Yeah, Nova Corps is there, like a bunch of them, and it's no good.
Yeah.
It is no good. They
even say, like, they destroyed all of Nova Corps. I mean, they probably didn't, but...
Man, Nova Corps does not do good in Guardians of the Galaxy-related media.
No, man. And the guy taking off his helmet while going, have faith.
Yeah.
Just,
choice.
That chilling. For that tiny little panel in the corner there. And, Peter Quill...
He's feeling better.
He's a pretty alright guy.
He's feeling a lot better now.
Yeah. I like Peter Quill when he's reminding me of John Crichton.
I can see that.
Yeah. They're very similar.
Beleaguered and sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find Star-Lord to be a little bit more annoying, but less insane.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, well, Star-Lord is designed for, a child audience, and John Crichton was not being aimed at children.
Good point. Yeah, and, Groot's cool in this one, and...
everyone's kind of just there.
Everybody else, just really in the background while these truth tentacles zap into everybody, and... they
already got Star-Lord's dad.
His daddy, they got him. He's, like, in command of the ship now, maybe. It's interesting. But
yeah, it's got to be one of those things where whatever the force is just using the body that it knows.
Right, yeah. It grabbed him, and then it's like, his son.
And, and then the big reveal of the issue. The thing that it happens in it that matters.
Yeah. Up to this point, we had no idea what was going on with Rocket.
It just seemed like he was mad at everyone, and everyone was mad at him.
Right, and but no indication that they had him with them.
Well, yeah, and he wasn't. He was on that. He was.
They went to get him on that planet.
Yeah, and we saw his hand peek from between the shutters of his building, which I think they're in because we see the shutters from the other side where the room where Moondragon is sitting.
Oh yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that they have gone to Rocket.
Okay,
and that's why all of his stuff is here that he needs.
Yeah, he seems to be in pretty bad shape.
Rocket looks like shit. That was a page turn where I was like, whoa. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know why people have been saying Marvel's going to kill off Rocket, but he's more than halfway there in this illustration.
Right, no, he's got more than a foot in the door.
He looks like he has the worst cancer that anyone's ever had.
Yeah.
It is chilling. And he's hooked up to a lot of machinery.
Yes, he is.
It's, poor Rocket.
My goodness, guess we'll find out more about that in the future. I give it a 6.
Yeah, this is fine for me. 5. 5, exactly average.
Fair enough.
Not my book of the week. If you want to find out what my book of the week was and you don't remember, ask me on Twitter. Leave us a like. Subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment. Anything helps. We'll be back next week with even more comic reviews. Thanks a lot for listening.
Cheers to whatever makes you happy.